ESPN1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
All right, turn your mic on, Matthew. It's on, far as I know. Yeah, buddy, I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the great state of Mississippi. Welcome into the show on this Wednesday. We call it Hump Day. I'm going to do that for you later, but because of request, as requested by you, we're going to start this one off the right way with Jack and Jerry.
25 seconds left to play.
You're listening to the Matt Wyatt Show.
Soak it in.
I want winners.
This crowd is alive.
Play to win the game.
Wyatt from the shotgun, two backs alongside.
Knock him out, John.
Wyatt gets the ball.
It won't be long.
Wyatt back to throw. Wyatt looks, fires toward the end zone. Passes, caught for touchdown by Matthew Butler.
Speak to it.
The Matt Wyatt Show. He's Radio Wyatt.
Well, how am I going to go to college? I'll just play football.
Oh, yeah, how's that? That's just like old times, ain't it? Man, old Roger used to get so sick of that. Hey, JB, Roger used to ask me all the time, hey, when you going to change that?
Yeah. We would have lunch sometimes, and we would talk about that, and he goes, but you know, I guess if I play quarterback and threw a touchdown, I might want to listen to that too.
Yeah, he'd say, Matt, you're going to change that, ain't you? And there was a time or two where I told Roger, I said, yeah, Roger, I tell you what, I'll try to work on it this weekend. I'll put a new one together and all this. And by about Wednesday of the next week, he'd go, hey.
You got that ready?
Well, and there were a couple times he went, yeah, you forgot all about that, didn't you? Sure did. I tell you what, I haven't forgotten about, JB.
What's that, bro?
This is going back to your era. I can just picture it. You and your long hair wearing the MC Hammer parachute pants doing the Humpty dance on Hump Day. Come on. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Man, hey, speaking about the way back, I just got a hello on Facebook watching live from Booper. My buddy Brandon James, childhood friend of mine up in Russellville, Alabama. What's up, big guy? Yeah, happy Hump Day, everybody. Do the Humpty dance. My mother's watching also. She says, yay, turn it up. See, Mom's a big fan of that one touchdown pass I threw that time. Yeah. All right, so hi.
Hey, while we're throwing out some love, you mind if I wish my daughter a happy 31st birthday?
Oh, my gosh. Please do it. Please.
Yeah. I don't know if she's listening. Her husband probably is listening because he loves your show. And just happy birthday, Courtney. Love you, babe. She was the one who made me a dad.
That's awesome.
And also made me a granddad.
Oh, so that's awesome. Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Courtney. Happy Hump Day to you. All right. You say your husband's a big listener to the show?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Jacob. That's
Jacob?
my son-in-law.
Okay.
Jacob McCrory. Yeah.
Hey, Jacob, you better be good today, buddy.
That's right.
It's birthdays and anniversaries and things like that make the world go round, Jacob. All right? And look, Dad's got his priorities in order. We ain't 5 minutes into this show, and he's already wished her a big public across 50,000 watts happy birthday. What have you done today, Jacob?
There you go, brother.
That's it. Hey, Rafi, I see you on Facebook, too. Come on. So it's Hump Day. You're one day closer to the weekend. And I don't even know what that means these days. Weekends are a lot like weekdays for a whole lot of us during this whole pandemic, but we still like the weekends. I'll tell you this. It means we're one day closer to opening day of Major League Baseball, which is tomorrow. More on that in a bit. All right, welcome to the show. We're 4 minutes in. Time to get started. You can text me on the Country Pleasing text line at 885-ESPN or call me on the Davini phone at 995-1059. Love to hear from you. Got some texts to get to here in just a bit. I got so excited and pumped up during the intro and playing Hump Day that I'm actually short of breath for just a little bit here. I need to take a sip of some coffee from High Point Roasters in New Albany. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. HighPointRoasters.com. It doesn't get much better than that. All right, who was the first to text me here today? Ghost Pepper in all caps on the country pleasing text line says, Clower power, baby, in your face, Beaver. Listen, don't pin that on Beaver. He was just joking with you. Beaver is not the one who made the decision to take the intro away. And I just played it just for fun. I don't know that we'll do it every single hour, every day, but we'll get it in there for you. And may even tweak it and make it even a little more appropriate, okay? So don't blame Beaver for it, all right? Well, blame him, but just do it in a fun way. How about that? And here's a good one. As we begin the show, by the way, hello to Tim. Steve, got you there on the Facebook live stream. People watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, y'all comment. I'll be able to see what you say and ask and all that kind of stuff. Rafi, hey to you. Tim, ready for some football? I am too. Matthew, hi to you. Miss Dinah, Hail State from Senatobia. And thank you very much. Yeah, we've added a new hour to the show, so we talk a little longer here on the Matt Wyatt Show in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. That's Farm Bureau Insurance across the great state of Mississippi. We are going to talk football right now. The question is, Southeastern Conference football on time, better than 50% chance? 50-50 or worse? What do you think? Let's start it off with T-Mite's text. He says, Matt, how about a little Sonic Boom on Hump Day for Roger? This goes out to Roger. I'll tell you this, he loved the Sonic Boom for sure. All right, so Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, gave some quotes and some comments. He did an interview on ESPN. It was quite a long interview, and I think it's one of those things where, everybody's trying to get to him because he's in on the meetings and the talks. He was part of some special on HBO. I don't get HBO. I didn't see it. Not paying for it. But I do get ESPN. And so let's look at what he said. Greg Sankey, commissioner of the SEC. First up, first order of business, a spring football season. It doesn't work for him, and that is good news for us.
Well, here's the problem I see with the spring right now. So we've kept that on a list of alternatives, but I've not had the explanation of how we'll be assured some reality come spring that will be better than the fall. And in fact, as you look at cold and flu season, which people have talked about, the deeper you go, the more problematic that can be. And we're all in this world of unpredictability. We are building the bridge as we cross the river and writing the instruction manual as we do so.
How about that analogy? We're building the bridge as we cross the river. There's no building the bridge and then crossing it. No, we're kind of waist deep. And piling by piling, pontoon by pontoon, we're just trying to hang on to the rope. And I think it's a good analogy. Spring season doesn't work. And if you did want to go, hey, medical person, project for me what the spring's going to be like. Well, guess when this thing popped up the last time? In the spring. And it does not take an expert to figure that out. It's almost as if, look, time out. I'm not about to put words in Greg Sankey's mouth. These are my words. It's almost as if they think if you don't play in the fall, you ain't playing anytime soon. It's almost as if that's what I'm hearing. Here's more. Greg Sankey. They are watching the NFL. They are watching these other leagues, the NBA, Major League Baseball, throwing out first pitch tomorrow without fans. They are watching all of that to get a gauge on what to do.
Next week is a week prior to practice. We will have seen a lot of professional sports activity through the month of July. NFL training camps are scheduled to begin officially next week. But we've got rookies reporting, so we've got learning opportunities there. And we've tried to use every one of these experiences as a learning opportunity to help inform our decision making. And the milestone check next week is, are we ready to move into that stage of practice? And part of that will be a conversation about what does the season look like. And that's a conversation that's been taking place for weeks.
Okay, here's what he's pointing at. Do y'all remember what I told you yesterday? All right, everybody who's listening right now, you're listening on the Zone, on your radio, 105.9 in Jackson, Central Mississippi, surrounding areas. Maybe you're listening online on the iHeart app. By the way, if you haven't done that, it's a great way to stream the show. The iHeart app, the TuneIn app, the Alexa app. Put it right there on your Alexa. Alexa, play the Zone. And it'll do it, you know. It's a great way to listen. But however you're listening, you're watching on Facebook, social media, whatever.
There's about 100 Alexas that just went off.
It is, right? Like somebody had it on their phone in their house. Sorry. Alexa, stop. There. That took care of it. No, listen. Everybody, raise your hand. You're a football fan. College football in the state of Mississippi. Raise your hand. SEC footprint. Okay, we all got our hands up, right? I'm going to remind you until it happens. Today's Wednesday. I started telling you about it yesterday. This Friday, the 24th, is a big deal. It's not the be-all, end-all. It's a big deal. In the state of Mississippi, let's just look at our state. Numbers of cases of COVID are going up. The death rate is climbing a little bit, but the numbers are blossoming. They're blooming. They're headed in the, as some people say, the wrong direction. Okay? But Friday is the first day of the next phase of the preseason, according to the NCAA. By the way, hats off to LaShawn on Facebook, who, instead of saying it, actually typed in the hand up emoji. Perfect. We're fans. Friday is the first day of the next phase, the next window of this extended preseason for college football, where starting Friday, it's allowable for college teams to have organized practices. Now, it's walkthroughs. It's not wearing full pads, tackling each other. Oklahoma drill, no, but it's a walkthrough practice. Just very quickly, Matt, what's a walkthrough practice? Well, it's the whole team on the field, lining up, calling plays, getting in the position we're supposed to be in, and going through the reps without running and hitting. Okay? It's a practice. Friday's the first day they're going to allow that. I told you this yesterday. I'm sticking with it. It's a big deal if it happens. It's an even bigger deal towards not having football if those things get called off between now and Friday. Maybe they don't. But if they don't, and you have entire teams on the field going through walkthrough practices beginning on Friday in Starkville and Oxford and elsewhere, trust me, that's a big deal towards they're going to play some football. Now, it's also a big deal towards more information. What kinds of infection rates come out of these teams a week into that? Well, that's what Sankey just said. Next week is going to be a huge week for us towards making a decision. I saw or read an interview where John Cohen told someone that still as of today, it's not time to make a final decision, but that day is getting closer and closer and closer. Next week is crucial, Greg Sankey says.
We look at next week as an important milestone. And the way I'll explain it is I have finished 41 marathons in my life, and I realize you're going to go mile by mile, and we are on that journey. The challenge right now is to understand where the finish line may be. And last week we increased athletic activity. There's an opportunity to do the same later this week, and so we've had a check-in point today about our preparations to do so.
Check-in point, talking about it. Let's look at the numbers. Let's see how it goes. I'm telling you, they're about to have full team walkthrough practices beginning on Friday. It's a big deal. Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly expects the season to start on time.
I'm optimistic that we're going to start. Then students get on campus and our guys move off campus. Essentially, Dan, we leave the bubble and start the season. So unlike maybe some of the professional teams like the NHL or, the NBA, they move into a bubble and start their season. College football leaves the bubble and starts the season. So we'll get to the starting line. We'll see what happens after that.
Okay, that's on the Dan Patrick Show. we will get to the starting line, he says, then we'll see what happens after that. Boy, is that a giant, question mark or what? And
Absolutely.
Greg, and here's the thing, JB. That's the one thing I've really never discussed on this show
Right.
is, okay, we're just trying to figure out where the starting line is every day when we talk about it, but I've never even talked about, okay, well, what happens once we get to the starting line?
Well, you just got to go, like Stanky was saying, 41 marathons? What's wrong with the guy? That's the first question.
Well, I'll tell you what it is.
What propels you to do that?
Well,
but mile by mile. I mean, I think he answered Brian Kelly's question of saying, as you said earlier in the show, we're building that bridge as we cross it.
Yeah.
I just say there's so many X factors that are unknown.
That's it. It's a giant unknown. And so
like everybody went back to church, and then all of a sudden they said, well, you can't go back to church anymore.
Yeah, no.
Right. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm not making those decisions.
Yeah. Well, I know it. And that's the thing about it, too. It's like the one thing we've been trying to gauge here is, can you start? Nobody's even discussed. I haven't even got to the point of trying to even discuss whether or not we could finish a season. It's just a matter of, can you have one at all? So, and when decision makers, this has been the case for 4 months, when decision makers like Greg Sankey, who have all the information, listen, Greg Sankey could pick up the phone right now and have a one-on-one conversation with Dr. Fauci if he wanted to. He would take his phone call. Well, so he's got information, and he still, for 4 solid months, doesn't really know what's going on. Head coach at North Carolina, I'm telling you all, the North Carolina Tar Heels are coming in football. They're already picked to win their division of the ACC this year. Mack Brown, the new head coach, a staff of recruiters. They are recruiting lights out at North Carolina. Just get ready. They're coming. Anyway, Mack Brown, now the coach again at North Carolina with a national championship at Texas in between those stints, is not even thinking about playing in the spring.
People have asked me about, what about the spring? Could you play in the spring? I'm not going there because I'm planning on playing in the fall. And I can't get to spring yet because if I get to spring with all the thoughts that happen in the spring, I think it'll dilute some of my thought process as I'm preparing for the fall.
He did say one other thing. This is a sitting head coach, a guy who's been an analyst on ESPN, who's won a national championship at a place like Texas, knows everybody and everybody knows him. Currently a head coach in a Power 5 conference. And he says college football needs a commissioner.
Right now, we just seem to be disjointed, and we don't have a single voice together. And I would have liked to have seen it where more people were talking about when it's safe to come back as a group, how we're going to run the season, who's going to play, when are they going to play. And that seems to be all over the place a little bit right now.
Needs a commissioner. Needs somebody in charge. Paul Feinbaum said on ESPN a couple of 3 days ago, didn't he, that Mark Emmert needs to be fired. Now, he said it. I didn't. Is Mark Emmert in a position to really do anything? I'm not sure that he is. But if you had a commissioner of college football, it's an interesting thought. Gatorman is hanging on the phone, the Davini Equipment phone line. Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson, your Kubota dealer. Go see him. Gatorman, thanks for calling. What's up? You got about a minute or two.
What up, Matt? How long?
About a minute and a half to 2 minutes. You go right ahead. Plenty of time.
Okay. All right. I can knock it out then. You were speaking of North Carolina and Mack Brown. For people that don't follow stuff on the East Coast as far as recruiting and stuff, he is about to make a move. They are about to jump in that number 2 spot in the ACC right below Clemson, and they're not going to be that far behind them because he's done 2 really good recruiting seasons back to back. This one he's doing right now is top 5, top 10, and it all hinged on him taking that quarterback from FSU, and I think Sam Howell is his name.
Yeah.
And last year, him going for the win instead of the tie against Clemson, he's basically telling Dabo, hey, I'm not here to be second fiddle. I'm here to take what you got. And they're getting, geared up to take that second spot away from Florida State. Florida State is on the way down. The coach just took a pay cut, and it wasn't just because of COVID. They had problems for years trying to keep assistants for Jimbo, and they could never pay them because they don't have that old school money like the SEC has. And Norvell just took a pay cut, and they're actually taking a lot of the recruits that FSU was getting. So they're on the move, man. For anybody that doesn't know, watch out for them next year.
Hey, you're exactly right, Gator Man. And Howell, the quarterback at North Carolina, his numbers were phenomenal last year. They returned 10 starters on offense. Gator Man, it's a great point. I can tell you see it too. You see what's coming at North Carolina. 10 starters returning on offense this year, 7 on defense. Phil Steele has them picked to win their division of the ACC, and the recruiting it's like through the roof right now at North Carolina. See if they hang on to him. Just getting started with you here on Hump Day, a Wednesday in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau Insurance, go with the home team. Stick around.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
How you like my hog hat? That stands for Country Pleasin' Sausage. Country Meat Packers is a great Mississippi company. Let me tell you a little bit about them, huh? You want to know the reason that you need to sit down at the table and say, country pleasin', please? Here's why. It all starts with hand-picked, pure pork. No parts, no stuff. It's hand-picked ham, bacons, pork loins, the real deal. They produce Country Pleasin' in small batches also, which means consistency in every package. Spices, fresh ones that are mixed daily on site right there at the plant in Florence. The hand-picked pure pork is coarse ground for an old-style snappy bite, better flavor. Now, their smoke houses are not cookie-cutter houses either. They are designed and built for country meat packers and for their own smoking methods. And they use hickory logs that they split daily on site. They don't use hickory sawdust. The logs produce a better smoke, a stronger flavor. It's the real deal. They use a natural hog casing for their sausage. It's soaked in vinegar for a tender snap. Country Pleasin' sausage is smoked in a 4-hour pure smoke process for the best color and flavor. And here's the thing, it's hand cut, so the package experience is great as well. When you check it out on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast, you'll see what I'm talking about. And frankly, let me put it this way. It's the best tasting sausage you'll put in your mouth every time, period. That's Country Pleasin'. Have yourself a Country Pleasin' morning, and always text the show on the Country Pleasin' text line.
Guys, 2020 is here. So new year, that means we got some new products, and I know you guys are probably getting ready for this year coming up. So a lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing for 2020 that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once everything, the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. So we've got Kubota, we've got Toro, we carry the new Wright stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much, and it's dirty as all get out. But this thing is, and it costs just as much as Zero Turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that Zero Turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower. So we added this product last year, and I was just trying to kind of wade in the water with it just to kind of see what they would do. Number one stand-on mower out there. If you do your own research, get online, all roads are going to basically lead back to Wright. So and Red Max, so from the handheld to the Red Max mowers, we have everything here at Davini. You've got homeowner mowers, starting with a 100 series, going up to the 400 series, going up to your full-blown commercial 700 series and your diesel mowers.
Back on the show. I'm Matt in the Farm Bureau studio. Farm Bureau Insurance across the great state of Mississippi. Your hometown heroes available to you in all 82 counties across the state. Check them out at MSFBINS. Did I have that right? Yeah, MSFBINS.com or favorites.com. Try favorites.com. That'll work for you. Back on the show with you. A reminder, you can stream the show. I recommend 3 places to do it. The iHeart app, that's what I use. I use the iHeart app on my phone. Just search 105.9 The Zone or any of our names or whatever. It'll pop up. Make it one of your favorites. It'll be there when you open it up. You can use the TuneIn app, stream the show. You can use the Alexa app. You have an Alexa there at your house. Just tell it, once you got it plugged in. And then, of course, the website, the thezone1059.com. Did I get that right? Thezone1059.com. So lots of ways to listen if you're away from your radio. All right, coming up on today's show, 3 more teams on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days leading up to the start of the college football season. It's a lot of fun to do. We're in the, let's see, what are our teams? Today, we're actually in the 40s. So we have team number 49, 48, and 47. 2 Pac-12 teams, 1 Big Ten team. A lot of fun. So those are coming up. 49, 48, 47. Our countdown presented by Matt Anderson Properties with National Land Realty. I'll tell you more about him in a bit. If you haven't heard us do that, just a reminder, we started 100 days out from September the 5th, which is the first scheduled full Saturday of college football. Now, we know we don't know yet. That's hit or miss. It's still scheduled now. We'll see if it happens. But that's what we're counting it down to. Using the Football Power Index, mostly, not completely, mostly, to compile the list of teams that we want to talk about on that list. And it's a fun way to learn a little something about all the teams. We hear their fight songs, maybe a little bit about what they did last year and their schedule and all that kind of stuff. And I started doing that on the radio many years ago as a way to almost force myself to learn little nuggets of information about a whole bunch of teams across the country, not just the ones that I naturally pay attention to. State, Ole Miss, Alabama, Auburn, that kind of stuff. And so I think I enjoy it. Feedback seems to be good. I think you all enjoy it. In fact, we've even had suggestions to do other kinds of lists. Why don't you do players? Count them down. We learn about individual players. That was a great suggestion on yesterday's show. So I might try to figure out a way to do that. Are they going to play? Am I having just basically a waste? Am I wasting everybody's time counting down these teams leading up to a football season that's not going to happen? Sharon, who is watching on the Facebook live stream, says, I'm just wondering your thoughts on Saban rushing to replace USC with BYU. We all know whatever Saban wants, Saban gets. And word over here in Bamaland is that Saban says, we're playing football. Now, I would say first, Sharon, Saban's a little biased, right, because of his position he's in. But you're right. Saban wants to play football, he's probably going to play it. We had a joke on our family vacation last week, JB, because we have to drive through the state of Alabama, a good portion of it, to get there. Well, heck, I mean, it's in Alabama, but, you know.
Yeah, and you're way up there in Tupelo, Lee County.
And what happens is you're on 4-lane. The way we go, you're on a 4-lane as long as you're in the state of Mississippi. And as soon as you get to Alabama, it goes down to 2 lanes. And the joke was that they can't afford to make the roads 4-lane in Alabama because they're paying Nick Saban all the money. You know, that was the ongoing joke. So maybe there is something to the idea that if Saban wants to play football, they're going to play football. Lynn on Facebook says, I like the shirt. Are you Maverick, Goose, or Iceman? I'm wearing a shirt that my daughter gave me for Father's Day, and it's the Top Gun logo with the wings and the star, but instead of Top Gun, it says Top Dad. I would be more, I think, I'm not a Maverick. I'm more of a Goose. That's what I am. If I'm being honest, I'm trying to be
At
totally.
least you're not Iceman.
See, that's it.
I watched that movie last night.
Did you really?
1,200 times, yeah. I'm all alone. Everybody's at the beach but me.
Oh, I see. Don't they have a new one?
It's supposed to be coming out.
Yeah.
But because of, once again, the virus, all that was postponed.
Postponed. Well, that makes sense.
It was supposed to be Maverick's kid.
Oh.
Is the pilot this time.
Tom Cruise make an appearance in the new one?
Oh, he is? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely be a Goose. And I know Goose gets killed off in the movie, but that's probably who I represent more than anything. And
you shake my nerves and you rattle my brain.
Oh yeah, he played that's right. The Rough Creek watching on the YouTube channel live stream. Hey to y'all on YouTube. He says Georgia High School Association pushed the first games to September the 4th. So it would be in August. They pushed it back a month to September 4th. He says practice and scrimmages are already a full go. How do you think that influences college ball? Rough Creek, listen, in these states, especially in the South, let's be honest. It's not going to fly if high schools are practicing and playing on Friday nights and colleges aren't playing on Saturday. That wouldn't fly around here, would it? I mean, I'm just saying it like it is. Hey, speaking of Georgia, I saw this nugget. I'm coming to your text, by the way. I saw this nugget of information. Let me see if I can find it. It was on Twitter. There it is. On this day in 1997. That's not that long ago, y'all. All you young whippersnappers out there that just went, oh, boy, that's 97. That's ancient. No, it's not. 97 was not that long ago. On this day in 1997, pitching legend Greg Maddux, listen to this, y'all. He threw a 76-pitch complete game and led the Braves to a 4-1 victory over his former team, the Cubs, at Wrigley Field. The game lasted a whopping 2 hours and 7 minutes.
That should do it. Ground ball to Lemke. He's got it. Greg Maddux has won his 14th game of the year. He did it with 78 pitches and only 15 of them missed the strike zone. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left. And folks, you just saw a great pitching performance.
And the great Skip Carey with the call there for the Braves back then.
Hey, is he one of the best pitchers of our generation?
Yes.
Maybe the best?
Yeah, maybe the best. Yeah.
I mean, after my word, he never broke 85.
Well, who? Oh, I know. I mean, that right there. So see the stats out there say 76 pitches. You heard Skip Carey on the call say 78 pitches. And as stats geeks as baseball people are, you'd think, but somebody's off. I don't know which one. It could have been Skip because he's keeping up with it live there in the game. Maybe they went back, recounted. Heck, I don't know. But he said 78, 76. Regardless, it's sub 80. And did you hear what else he said? He threw a grand total of 15 non-strikes in the whole game.
That's hitting your spots, right?
Yeah. And think about it. He never broke 90 miles an hour with a pitch. Okay? He never threw anything but a strike, yet no one could hit him. Think about that. You go to the plate. You're a professional hitter, one of the best in the game. Let's just say like you're Mark Grace, you're Andre Dawson, you're somebody like that, right? Who was the great second baseman for the Cubs back then?
Ryan Sandberg.
Sandberg. You know, you're Ryan Sandberg. You're one of the best hitters in the world. You go to the plate knowing without a shadow of a doubt it's coming into the strike zone. See, one of the biggest things that gets swings and misses is guys are facing pitchers who are productively wild. No, this guy, he's going to throw a strike. You know it, and he knows it, and you still can't hit it. So
what's that phrase that the old Kevin Costner movie, he clears the mechanism before he pitches.
Man, no way. No way. Look, it's just, how'd he do it? Okay, was he, your question is a great one. You know, is he the best pitcher of our generation? Well, who would he be up against?
Well, two guys that were on the same staff.
Glavine.
Smoltz.
Glavine and Smoltz. And see, even those, I think, you know, if we were to compare the numbers, I think it would be pretty clearly Greg Maddux. Yeah. A little bit better numbers over a longer period of time, frankly.
You think about the big unit, Randy Johnson.
Thought about Randy
could
Johnson.
be in that discussion.
Roger Clemens. And then, you know, the thing about it is, Nolan Ryan has to be in the discussion because he was pitching when he was 45 years old.
And beating young kids at the plate.
And on the mound, when they charge the mound for that
correct.
matter.
Thank you, Robin Ventura.
You're right. But I mean, so if we go our generation, see, that's what's weird about it. Like, Nolan Ryan's the greatest. Above all of them, was a hard thrower. But, man, he started his career in the late 60s with the Mets. Did we realize that?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He was a rookie in 69.
I mean, he's pitching in the majors when Greg Maddux was born. It's stupid.
He pitched like almost 25 years after Tom Seaver, who was a rookie with him, retired.
It's crazy. And was still throwing 95.
Absolutely.
Crazy, man. Greg Maddux. A 76-pitch complete game through 15 balls the whole. He went into Wrigley and just said, step up there, boys. You can't hit it. You cannot hit me. All right, we'll do the countdown. Coming up next in the Farm Bureau studio. Stay with me.
Rick's Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
Campuses are empty. The arenas are silent. For now. People here today are few and far between. But soon, a crowd will show up. It's not a matter of if football will be played here. It's a matter of when.
I'll be there. I'm sure you will be too. I'll see you there.
It won't be long now. Can you imagine the return of the crowds to see the return of the team? What a day that will be. And it will be soon. You know, you hear me say that C-Spire is the #1 network in Mississippi. That's unquestioned. They are another great Mississippi company as well and really support local sports, high school. You know, you see their logo and their advertisements at Ole Miss and at Mississippi State and at Southern Miss and everywhere. And you may have heard this, you may not have, though. I mentioned this recently on the show, but there's a new thing they have. Back with you. I'm Matt. JB is here. Most importantly, you are here. Give me a call on the Davini Equipment phone line. Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson. Your Kubota dealer. Need a mower? That's where to go. Need some other equipment? That's where to go. Davini. Go see them. 995-1059. The number to call. That is a 601 area code. 995-1059. Text me on the Country Please and text line 885-ESPN. That's a 601 number. 885-ESPN. Gator Nation texted the show and said Greg Maddux is a traitor. He said, we, as in me, Beaver, Harry Carey, and the Cubs, made him. Sandberg, best second baseman of all time, Gator Nation says. Also, congratulations on 3 hours. Matt gives me an extra hour to tell you how great Brady is. TB12, the GOAT. Gator Nation signs off the same way every time. How many Cy Youngs? Did Greg Maddux ever win an MVP? I could Google it. I'm not going to do it. That's easy enough. I know he's a Cy Young winner multiple times. I got an email here. Odds to win, with opening day tomorrow for Major League Baseball, odds to win the 2020 American League MVP. Mike Trout, the leader in the clubhouse, literally and figuratively, at 9-4. Followed by Gleyber Torres at 10-1 and Aaron Judge and Alex Bregman at 12-1. Also Francisco Lindor 12-1. Speaking of Bregman, Mac, who's watching on YouTube, said, speak on the Astros getting hit by pitches. Yeah, I got a message for the Astros. Duck! Because they're about to get thrown at over and over and over. Matt, thank you on Facebook. No MVP for Maddux, but he did have 4 Cy Youngs. The odds leader, the odds-on favorite to win the National League MVP, Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Braves. Chop! Christian Yelich at 9-2. And then Mookie Betts at 6-1. Odds to win the American League Cy Young, Garrett Cole 5-2. Justin Verlander 5-1. Shane Bieber 11-2. And then the odds to win the National League Cy Young, 4-1, Jacob deGrom. How about that? Walker Buehler, 6-1. Jack Flaherty, 8-1. Same thing for Scherzer at 8-1. Scherzer's going to pitch tomorrow night against the Yankees to open the season. American League Rookie of the Year odds, Lewis Robert from the White Sox. Turn them on if they're playing and watch that kid. He's incredible. And then the odds-on favorite for the National League Rookie of the Year right now is Gavin Lux at 7-2. All right, Lynn from Pontotoc on the Davini Equipment phone line. Davini Equipment, Madison and in Jackson. Hey, Lynn, what's up?
Hail State to you, Matt. Are you excited for the baseball season?
Yes, I really am. And selfishly, just because I'm excited to watch. I want to watch real sports. You know what I did today, Lynn? I'm a Dish Network customer, and right now they are still in a dispute with Fox, so I can't get Fox Sports South and get the Braves. They are now in a dispute with the NFL. They've taken off the NFL Network. So today I signed up for Hulu Live. It's going to cost me $50 a month, but I signed up for it today so that I can watch every Braves game on Fox Sports and Fox Sports Southeast.
There you go. Hey, will that give me the Mets games? Hulu Live on my phone, maybe driving this truck?
You know, the Mets games. You know what? I think it does because there will be – wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, does one of the Fox regionals broadcast the Mets games or does somebody else have it?
I mean, I don't know. I'm a Mississippi boy, you know. I'm just a Mets fan somehow from a long time ago, 86 World Series when they won it. So it's hard for me to watch them, but I try to. I'll look into that.
Yeah. Look into it, see what you think.
That's what I was going to tell you now. I know you're a Braves fan, but it's a 60-game sprint, and that's the kind of deal that the Mets can win. Of course, they're going to call it a fake season anyway.
Right.
So,
right.
Let me hear you say it one time, Matt. Let's go, Mets.
You know what? How about this? On behalf of Jake Mangum and Cole Gordon, let's go Mets. How about that?
There it is. I didn't tell it to you in a while. I just want to holler at you. We'll holler at y'all later, man. Great show.
Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, Lynn. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for listening and commenting and calling. Always enjoy hearing from you. Yeah, I'll say it. Let's go Mets. That's for you, Jake and Cole. You the man, Jake. You the man. Matt Daddy sent us a text, said, Hail State. David the mailman said, North Carolina has Phil Longo. I'm not worried. His 6 plays won't last a whole season. Well, we'll see about that. Jason in Flagstaff said, this is going to be apocalyptic if we still have these COVID numbers on top of a stronger flu strain or 6. We got to get buckled down on our personal responsibility if we want to avoid another stronger lockdown and another depression. Hey, you said it, Jason. Personal responsibility. Absolutely. Andy on the Country Pleasin' text line. Country Pleasin' sausage on grocery store shelves throughout the Southeast. They are the best makers of sausage anywhere, anyhow, period. End of story. And if you try it, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Andy texted me on the Country Pleasin' text and said, the idea of a commissioner for college football is a great idea. It has the potential to be terrible if not done right, though. But if they could act as the president and the conference president's commissioners could act as Congress type of thing, that could work. Could even throw in the NCAA expanding a judiciary committee for it. They all have certain powers like the government's checks and balances. The whole government thing's starting to scare me a little bit, Andy. I was in on this idea before you started comparing it to the government. But that's really kind of what it is, isn't it? All right, let's do it. Countdown of 100 teams in 100 days right now.
100 teams. 100 days.
The countdown is presented by Matt Anderson Properties, a member of National Land Realty. Call Matt Anderson at 408-5155. That's 408-5155.
Yeah, y'all call Matt Anderson with National Land Realty. Can help you buy or sell that piece of timberland or hunting land, recreational property, building a dream home, all of that with the Land 360-degree interactive touring, drone touring. You see it from up above without ever even going out there. It's really, really cool. If you're selling property, Matt can get you comprehensive internet traffic reports for your listing. You can see how many people are looking and where they're from and all that kind of stuff. So call him, Matt Anderson, at 601-408-5155, 408-5155. Team number 49 on the countdown from the Pac-12, the Bruins of UCLA. fight song always sounds like I'm watching a trapeze artist. It's very circus-ish, but I like it. All right, what do we need to know about UCLA? What we do know is that they are not... here we go, trapeze. He almost fell. The trapeze artist almost fell. What we do know is that they only won 4 games last year. I got my handy-dandy Phil Steele College Football Preview magazine, and he picks them to finish 4th in the South Division of the Pac-12. More on their schedule in a bit. He has USC winning that division ahead of Utah and Arizona State. UCLA at 4. What he said was, when Chip Kelly was going 46-7 at Oregon from 09 to 12, he had 2 distinct advantages. He had one of the few teams running the fast-paced offense, and the Ducks' facilities were superior, and he out-recruited most Pac-12 teams. Now, everyone runs up-tempo offense, and his recruiting classes at UCLA have ranked at the bottom. He also lost a ton of players at the transfer portal. Kelly has a quarterback that is a perfect fit for his offense, and this is the best team that he's had in 3 years. So he has them finishing higher than at the bottom of that South Division of the Pac-12. The Big Ten, you'll remember, came out and said, well, we're not going to play any non-conference games. It's only going to be, in conference. And right after that, what was it, 3 days after? 2 days after, Pac-12 said, Larry Scott and the Pac-12 said, well, we're going to do the same thing. No non-conference games. So what does that mean? Well, for UCLA, it means that the first scheduled Pac-12 game for them is on September the 26th. They originally had New Mexico State scheduled on August the 29th, so like very early. Then they were going to make a trip to Hawaii on September 5th, what would be opening weekend for everybody else. September 5th, they were going to go to Hawaii, play non-conference. Week 3, they were going to go to San Diego State. We're not doing any of that. So the first game now that they might play is on September 26th, hosting Stanford because it's a conference game. They were 4-8 last year, but they returned 7 on offense, 6 on defense. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, quarterback that they talked about. Big-time dual threat. That's hour 1. Y'all stream hours 2 and 3 on the website, thezone1059.com, or on the iHeart app. I'll see you over there in just a few minutes. Stick around.